now we'll move on to part 2 of graph sketching. This is the second kind of equation that you will encounter, which is in the factorized form. So the previous video, we talked about the completed the square form. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to sketch a graph if it's factorized form. So first thing first, we need to have our axis. Then the second thing will be, okay, so your axis, of course, it means that your scale. The second thing to note is whether is it a smile or a frown graph. So if you look at this, this is x times x, so you get a positive x squared. And that means that it should be a smile graph. The third thing for a factorized form, it's always easier to find the X-intercept. So to find the X-intercept, it just means that y is equals to 0. So when y equals to 0, this is how your equation looks like. X is equals to -2 or x is equals to 1. There you have it. So don't forget origin. Okay, and then the next one, you can find the turning point. And in this case, it will be the minimum point. So turning point is always between the x-intercepts. It's always right in the middle. So you will have your turning point x equals to -2 and x equals to 1, right? So between them, you will have -2 plus 1 divided by 2, -half. So it is somewhere around here. You should have your -half. Now where should your y be? Then you got to sub this -half back into your equation. So this is your x coordinate of the turning point. And then now you got to find your y coordinate. So your y coordinate of the turning point will be, you sub x equals to -half into the equation. Then you have y equals to -half plus 2 times -half minus 1. And you have 1.5, which is 3/2, times -3/2. Then you have -9/4. So which is about -2 1/4. So your turning point is going to be somewhere around, this is just a rough estimate. Of course, you have your graph paper, so you should be more accurate than me, because with all the grids to help you. So this is your turning point. If you're scared that the marker doesn't understand your graph, then probably it would be a good idea to label the point here in this coordinate form. And then the last thing is your y-intercept. Of course, for y-intercept, you can switch the order, because for this one it's slightly easier. It doesn't matter which one you find first, but the turning point should always come after you have identified your x-intercepts. So you can choose, for step 3, you can choose to find y-intercept first, then you find x-intercept, and then lastly find turning point. So the order is entirely up to you. To find y-intercept means x is equal to 0. So you sub in 0 plus 2, 0 minus 1. Therefore, you have 2 times -1, -2. So you should cut here. And here you have it. Your graph makes sense. Okay, the challenge always comes at the sketching part. Try to make it look symmetrical, not too sharp, a rounded base. Trust me, it's easier to draw on paper. And then don't forget to label your graph. Done. So I think of all the different kinds of graphs that you're supposed to sketch, if it's in the factorized form, it's the easiest one.